Hello and good morning, South Bay. I am Lesley Robbins. It is so great to see you again. Let's jump into the news, shall we? We have big news this week. Say a partial goodbye to those masks if you're vaccinated. As expected, LA County has dropped its indoor mask wearing policy for fully vaccinated people after Supervisor Janice Hahn announced the pending change earlier this week. Now we're talking at gyms, bars, offices, you name it. Now the rule does of course put the burden on businesses to check proof of vaccination and enforce the mandate for those who are unvaccinated, but nevertheless, it is progress. And speaking of the unvaccinated, those individuals would still need to wear masks indoors, as that rule is still in place statewide. Local nonprofits are invited to participate in the second annual nonprofit Quick Pitch contest on March 9th at the Lighthouse Cafe. At the end of the evening, the winning nonprofit will receive a $10,000 grant from the Hermosa Beach Friends Foundation. Pitches will be limited to 4 minutes, a maximum of 5 slides, plus no amplified sound or video will be allowed. Now, the application deadline already passed. It was this past Wednesday, but if more than 12 organizations did apply, the foundation will pick the 12 participants by a lottery drawing on Saturday, February 26th. The Hermosa Friends Foundation has donated over $100,000 to charities since its founding in 2016. The Palos Verdes Estates Foundation has unveiled a newly restored peninsula treasure. Yes, the iconic 93-year-old Farnham Martin fountain that's adjacent to the Malaga Cove Library was recently turned on and lit up for the first time in 15 years. There was an intimate reception that took place at the base of the fountain at sunset, hosted by the 2-year-old Palos Verdes Estates Foundation. The fountain and the neighboring park were designed by the Olmsted brothers in 1929. The Farnham Martin is the oldest fountain in the city. Foundation President David McGowan told the crowd that the restoration was done in collaboration with the city of Palos Verdes Estates. Residents donated their talents and $100,000 to the endeavor. Farnham Battles Martin, whom the fountain was named after, was a landscape architect with the Palos Verdes project. Well, Torrance could be looking at some new real estate in the future. A new 5-story, 200-unit apartment complex to be located just off the corner of Delamo Circle Drive and Carson Street in Torrance, a town traditionally adverse to large development projects, is in the works. That's according to real estate firm Legacy Partners. Now, we're told that the project is still in its early stages, but it will likely undergo environmental analysis to determine its impact on the surrounding areas. Now, that's a lengthy process, which means development is a ways off from becoming a reality. The complex would be just west of Hawthorne Boulevard and the Delamo Fashion Center and would occupy about 2.8 acres of property that is currently being used as a parking lot. Skechers has begun digging an underground walkway in Hermosa Beach as part of its design center project, and work on the tunneling under 30th Street between 2 new Skechers buildings on PCH is expected to last 9 months. Now, we're told that during construction, traffic on 30th Street will be limited to one-way eastbound. This Skechers project takes up nearly 1.5 acres of land in Hermosa, includes a more than 100,000 square foot design center and a more than 20,000 square foot building featuring offices, product development rooms, and a management dining area. The project is expected to create jobs in the hundreds, with 430 of them in Hermosa. Redondo Beach's Beach Life Festival is bringing a whole lot more music to the city, with a second 3-day concert in the works. The third installment of the festival, which returns to Redondo's Seaside Lagoon May 13th through the 15th, will be followed by a sister festival named Beach Life Ranch, which is set for the end of the summer. Now, that event will focus on Americana and country rock music, with the lineup and dates expected to be released in the spring. Now, when it comes to the scope of things, organizers plan for the new festival to mirror the original Beach Life event, which is expected to draw a total of about 30,000 people over 3 days. And they're going to see about 50 or so bands, and they want it to be an annual event too. Now, like the original festival, which includes the side stage experience plus a 50-seat pop-up restaurant, Beach Life Ranch will also have food, but in the form of a barbecue cookout. And Beach Life is growing in other ways too. South Bay TV has learned a restaurant and social club in Redondo Beach, inspired by the festival, is in the works. Well, Hermosa Beach has approved a comedy and magic club expansion. The iconic club, which has been shuttered for nearly 2 years because of the coronavirus pandemic, recently received unanimous approval from the city's planning commission for substantial renovations, which includes expanding the space by about 100 seats in its main showroom. That'll make it 350 total. And they're going to enclose a patio at an adjacent little lower, please, so I'm not rushing. A little lower. Keep going. Okay, perfect. Thank you. 3, 2. Hermosa Beach has approved a comedy and magic club expansion. The iconic club, which has been shuttered for nearly 2 years because of the coronavirus pandemic, recently got unanimous approval from the city's planning commission for substantial renovations, which does include expanding the space by 100 seats in its main showroom. That'll make it 350 total. And they're also enclosing a patio at an adjacent lounge area. But the club's founder, Mike Lacey, tells South Bay TV that it's too early to figure out when construction will start, how long it will take, or when the club might reopen. To expand the showroom area, the plan calls for removing employee offices that are behind the main stage. The main stage will then be moved north to accommodate the extra 100 seats. The famed green room will remain as is because for decades, performers like Jay Leno have left their mark in ink on the walls. The lounge, another performance space with an adjacent restaurant, will have its patio enclosed as part of the renovation. For more than a year, it seemed that San Pedro's popular Silver Line bus delivering riders from the port town through downtown LA and to El Monte was going to be cut short. Under a LA County Metropolitan Transportation Authority plan to put a new electrified Silver Line bus into service, the route would have ended at the Harbor Gateway Transit Center, about 10 miles shy of San Pedro. San Pedro, Lesley. 3, 2. For more than a year, it seemed that San Pedro's popular Silver Line bus delivering riders from the port town through downtown LA and to El Monte was going to be cut short. Well, under an LA County Metropolitan Transportation Authority plan to put a new electrified Silver Line bus into service, the route would have ended at the Harbor Gateway Transit Center. That's about 10 miles shy of San Pedro. That's because there was no Metro-owned property in the port town where a charging station could be installed. But now it seems the Silver Line will continue visiting San Pedro. That's thanks to newer technology making longer range electric buses available to provide for a full service replacement. The LA Metro Board recently approved a motion to put in a change order for the 100 electric buses previously ordered for the Silver Line, now officially called the J Line after Metro. Just do a pickup right there. Hope you don't mind, Sean. Okay. 3, 2. The LA Metro Board recently approved a motion to put in a change order for the 100 electric buses previously ordered for the Silver Line, now officially called the J Line after Metro nixed the color system. In exchange, the motion calls for extended range buses, which would flow to the port town and could be ready by the end of the year. The regular Silver Line bus has continued running as usual in the interim, providing a needed service for people traveling from San Pedro to downtown LA and into El Monte. Metro's goals overall include switching from compressed natural gas buses to a 100% electric bus fleet by 2030. Well, a leading environmental lawmaker from Torrance has proposed a bill that would create a state fund to support and retain thousands of oil industry workers as California tries to phase out fossil fuel production. The idea of guiding California's 112,000 oil industry workers out of their current field and into other careers is often referred to as just transition, and is considered by policy researchers a necessary step to counter job losses as the state strives to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Community and environmental groups say the state should start moving half the industry's workforce out of oil fields and refineries now in order to meet California's goal of cutting 40% greenhouse gas emission by 2030. But a union that represents... It's going too fast. I wasn't going to make it.
From here or from...
There, top. Yeah, I might as well just lower it. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. 3-2. A leading environmental lawmaker from Torrance has proposed a bill that would create a state fund to support and retain thousands of oil industry workers as California tries to phase out fossil fuel production. The idea of guiding California's 112 oil industry workers out of their current field and into other careers is often referred to as just transition, and is considered by policy researchers a necessary step to counter job losses as the state strives to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Now, community and environmental groups say the state should start moving half the industry's workforce out of oil fields, refineries, and plants now in order to meet California's goal of cutting 40% greenhouse gas emission by 2030. But a union that represents a portion of these workers has opposed such efforts in the past. The State Building and Construction Trades Council of California, known as the Trades, which represents labor groups that include iron workers, electrical workers, and Teamsters, say it worries about losing good-paying jobs. Last year, the Trades opposed a bill that would have prevented oil drilling near schools and communities, citing job losses. This time, however, the Trades is being countered by another group of unions, including steel workers, municipal workers, and teachers. Although the current bill doesn't specify an amount, those unions want the state to dedicate $470 million annually for wage subsidies and training to help workers move into the growing green energy sector. Okay, from green energy to the practice of yoga. In studio this week is someone to help calm, relax, and inspire us. She is the person behind Yoga on the Beach, Efrat Pomeranitz. Great to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, I have to start. You are Israeli. You came from Israel. You are in LA. You studied interior design.
True.
But you're like a guru in yoga. Take me back. How did you get to this place?
All right, so I'll skip the first few chapters because they're long and tiring, but I'll jump into how I started yoga. So basically, I started in meditation in the last year of high school, long time ago. It's called TM, Transcendental Meditation. We don't need medication when you do meditation, so that's why you do it. And I bump into yoga maybe 24 years ago. Got a class and I saw the light because it was meditation in motion and it was so amazing, impacted me in so wonderful way, and I just got hooked. And very shortly after that I decided I have to spread the word and I have to bring yoga to as many people as I can. So I did my first training, but it was not the last. First training was in 2000. It's called, a lot of people don't know, but it's a Hatha Yoga style, but it's called Anasora. It's a little different, but in the same family. So that was my first training. I was teaching only friends and family because I was not having this, the confidence yet. So in 2009, I took another yoga teacher training, this one here, local, with Cloud9. And that gave me the confidence. Right after that, I said, this is not a hobby anymore. This is going to be my profession. I'm always 100% into this. And that things start rolling. A few years later, I did restorative teacher training in Ananda Center in North California. I did prenatal. I keep myself educated and, refreshing my knowledge as much as I can. Retreats, small training. The last one was 3 or 4 years ago. Actually, I flew to India, to Goa, and did my certification as meditation teacher. So now I'm both. And what I do in my training, in my classes, because of that background, I combine the two. So it's not only physical and it's not only meditation. It's a combination of both, which make my classes kind of unique that way.
Okay, you've said the word meditation many times, and that brings me to a place of calm and peace. So break down, really, what's the difference between meditation and yoga? And also, are they different practices? Tell me the difference.
All right, so very good question. In my opinion, in my eyes, they are the same, except yoga is meditation in motion, and meditation, the other forms are in stillness. That's all it is. And that's, I think, the beauty of yoga. And unfortunately, a lot of people look at yoga as sport. And that is so sad because they are missing the whole point. Because yoga is holistic. And you got the meditation, you got to work on your mind and your heart and your soul. And if you just do the motion, you're taking only very small piece of it and enjoying it instead of having the whole experience.
Well, you said holistic. How is yoga holistic?
Because it treats a person as a whole. It's not only physical, it's spiritual. And it takes care of your mind. We all have what I call monkey brain. Did you ever heard about that?
Yes, chatter.
Yes, yeah, it's like...
I had a yoga teacher who used to say monkey brains. Calm the monkey brain.
Yes, and the brain will function and think all the time. That's the nature of things. In meditation, or yoga is meditation, we're trying to slow down that. You cannot stop it really. It's a skill that you need to practice for many years. And you just keep in mind that anything is better from the moment you started this. So anything, as you move on, you just become better and better in it. But there is a moment when you're not going to think about anything. The monkey brain will jump in as many times as you want, and our job is to observe, say, okay, that's fine. Lovingly, I'm saying goodbye to this thought, and I'm coming back to where I'm supposed to be.
They always say breath work.
Oh.
So where does breathing come in? Because everyone holds their breath and clenches, right?
Yes,
But
definitely.
that's the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. The breath is the center of the practice, really. If you're going into yoga class and the teacher does not talking about the breath, it's exercise, it's stretching, whatever you want to call it, it's not yoga. Because the breath, we're moving with the breath. We're inhaling and moving to one another, and then we exhale and we're moving to the other, or we count 4 or 5 breaths and being still. It's all about the breath. Because the connection between the mind and the body is the breath. So let's take an example. You're stressed because somebody cut you off when you're driving, or somebody talked to you very nasty. You immediately get tight with the muscles, pupils are smaller, your breath becomes faster and shallower.
You know me.
No, that's a human experience, but yeah, you included. Yes, it's absolutely what we all feel, because we're coming to that flee or fight or freeze, respond, and we all like this. Breath responding immediately, fast and shallow. When you calm and you relax and you're nice dinner and a romantic situation, playing with your kids, you are calm, muscles are relaxed, mind is more in peace, and your breath respond. It's deeper and slower. So what are we doing in yoga? We're starting with the breath. We breathe deeper and slower. And the brain go, oh, I guess we're resting. So the brain is starting to slow down. And that is a very important connection. Without that, I don't see how you can call the practice yoga.
Well, that's kind of a hard concept for a lot of people to master. So is yoga really for everybody? Because maybe some people are thinking, There's no way. What's that saying? Just when you say, I have no time to meditate, that's when you
Needed
to
the
meditate.
most. Yes.
That's when you need it the most, when you say, I don't have time.
Exactly.
Well, that's when, so is that the same for yoga? Is it really for everyone? And should everyone like take a minute to do it?
Absolutely. It takes more than a minute because it's not meditation, it's an emotion. It's a meditation in motion, so it's another part to it. I think that is part of my philosophy. I think yoga should be accessible to anybody and everybody. And people say to me funny things like, I'm not flexible enough, so I cannot go to yoga. It's like, that's exactly why you need to go to yoga, because you need to work on your flexibility. And people will say, my mind is chattering, I cannot stop it. Oh, that's a good reason to come to yoga. So I really think that the environment in a class needs to be very welcoming, very loving, very supportive, and make people feel that they come exactly where they're at, the way they are physically, emotionally, the busy mind, and they will be improving as they go along. It's a process. But absolutely anybody and everybody should feel comfortable in certain yogas. There's different kind of yogas. You need to find, it's a match. You need to find that works for you the best. Sometimes you need to go to a few of them before they go, oh, this is the one that really works for me. And you stay there. But you have to try.
So, of course, you said classes, and you are a teacher here in the South Bay. So how are your classes unique? Because there are a lot of different yoga places in the South Bay.
Absolutely.
So break down yours.
Yes. So really, it's coming back to my background. A lot of teachers coming from very physical background. They've been professional dancer that got injured. They've been professional athlete that got injured, or any other kind of like runners that got injured, and they bring that background. So the class will be very physical, sometimes pushing. You can do it in faster and harder, and go to. That's exactly what my classes are not. Because I'm coming from the background of meditation, it's very gentle, very kind. We're staying longer in motions, we move slow, we are staying longer in stretches, we are not rushing anywhere, because I know there is a lot of rush in our life in the Western world as it is. You come to slow things down, and I guide you into different techniques of meditation. I could say, now you're in a pose, warrior 2. I want your monkey brain to come down, and you are now focusing on the tip of your nose. As you are focusing on the temperature of your breath, noticing how the cool air come in and warm air come out, and you're keeping your attention right there. And that's the meditation part. Yeah, you are in the position, in the asana, but you're taking care of the mind as well at the same time. So.
Now, I know one of your mantras is practice with joy and happiness.
Totally.
Is it easy to get to that place right away, or that takes practice too?
Well, it's easy in my classes. Because as soon as you come in, we're starting with meditation and we talk about it. You come into a class, you're not coming to suffer. There is no.
That's kind of why you're maybe going to the class, because you don't want to.
Exactly. But you can get into a class that is very pushy, and you're kind of moving out of your comfort zone. So for me, if you're not enjoying the experience, you're not going to come back, and you're not going to be consistent. You're going to fade away because you're not having fun. You're going, it's like, oh my God, I have to go to yoga. Do I have to? I don't want that energy. I'm going to yoga. I'm going to enjoy myself. So I emphasize and just don't be harsh on yourself. Go with the process so you will enjoy it. No pushing, no competition, no criticism, no negative thoughts about what you're doing and how you're doing. Just be. Yeah. And I have a little thing I say to my students, be like a leaf over a river. You flow wherever it takes you. The leaf doesn't force the stream to go one way or another. Sometimes it's faster and stronger, sometimes it's soft and slower, and sometimes it's steady. It's just stand there. Just go with it. Don't fight it.
How do you get to that place of not fighting it?
Your teacher helps you.
That's what I think it is. You need a good teacher, a good mentor, a good guider.
Yes.
Because when people try and say, I tried to meditate at home, you're not going to get it. It's very hard.
Yes, it is.
You need someone to guide you.
Yes, that is true. Yes. Definitely. So in my classes, I will emphasize, and I also cracks a lot of jokes. It's like, come on, guys, don't be that tight. Let's, you know.
It's fun too.
Yes. I really keep saying, if you're looking at my Facebook or my Instagram, we are a tribe. And I have students for 10 years or more. It's like family. I know everything about them, and they almost know everything about me. And if somebody is missing a class, they feel the need to send me a text and telling me that they are not showing up, because they know I'm going to think about it. Why Debbie is not here today? What's going on? And it's just like sometimes my other students will say to Tracy, you missed a couple of classes. Are you okay? Because we become really extended family, and I love that. So that's diffused the energy. There's no competition, as I said before. There is no tension. And then you can really enjoy it because you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And which is extremely important.
Okay, I have a few other points to make, but since you're on the topic of your classes, I just want to get this out of the way because it's so important for people to find out where, how, who, all of the stats of you. But yes. I do want to bring up a few other points about yoga, but tell me, just these classes, they sound really special, so how can people get there? Yeah.
So I teach for a lot of cities around here. It's kind of funny. I teach in Hermosa Beach through the Hermosa Beach Recreation, so you can go on their website and find the links. And actually we're starting spring on March 1st, so you should hurry up and register before they will get booked and full and sold out. So that is in the beach. I have classes in the winter only in the morning because the days are too short. So we have Wednesday morning and Saturday morning. So if you work, Saturday can work for you. And this is a very popular class. So you really, if you want to get in, you need to do it right away. In the summer, or the days are getting longer, spring, summer, I have 3 classes. 2 in the evening and 1 in the morning. Wednesday morning and Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday morning. So actually 2 mornings and 2 evenings. So that is Hermosa Beach.
Hermosa.
That's it. Through the recreation. Mm-hmm. Now there is Torrance. In Torrance, I teach through the recreation 2 classes, indoor morning classes, and those are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, opening of registration will be on March 1st. So this is indoor, and we're doing it with masks so far. Yeah.
COVID stuff.
Yes, yeah. On the beach, no masks. We're free. We're just sitting a little bit apart, but no mask required.
Okay, so we have Hermosa Beach and we have Torrance.
That's
or the South Bay. We have that covered.
There is more.
There's more.
Yes. And we're down the beach session. Yes, yeah. Exactly. We're down the beach again through the recreation, starting this coming Monday. So you must register now to get on Monday. So those are Mondays and Wednesdays. And so I'm covered like all the hours of the day pretty much. There's no excuse not to practice yoga because you'll find a class that fits your schedule. And wait, it's not finished yet.
More towns in the South Bay.
Yeah, no. Well, I used to teach in El Segundo before the corona.
Yeah.
Right now I'm not coming back there yet. I was asked for, but it's a little bit too busy and too far.
Yeah.
I don't go 5 miles away from my house. This is a privilege. If you're maybe in the 5 miles, I work for you. If it's farther, I don't want to spend more time driving than teaching because I like to enjoy what I'm doing. So I do teach Verdanto Beach at the Perry Park Recreation Center. There is senior center there. So I teach, usually it's a huge class. It can go to 30 or 40 people. But because of Corona, we moved outside. We're on the grass. And it's senior class. It's a chair yoga. It's dynamic. It's not just sitting there and just moving your hands. You move. The chair is there to support you, but sometimes you don't have to use it, so you don't. And that class is outdoor, also with a mask, because we're dealing with seniors and we want to be as safe as possible. So I think I covered almost everything. I used to do the cancer support group volunteering for 10 years every Thursday morning, and also now I'm kind of readjusting this situation. I might come back there, and that is free, by the way. If unfortunately cancer touching you in any way, even family member, there are fantastic center to go to because they're such a supporting agency.
Well, you talked about the various classes that you are doing. You said in studio, you said beach, then you said grass. So you're hitting all the different locations. does it really matter where you practice, or tell me kind of how yoga is different in each of those places?
Great questions. First of all, I'm sorry, I'm squeezing. First of all, yoga is good anywhere you feel comfortable. That's important. Some people don't like the sand. That is fine. Go to indoor. Some people like the sun. They don't want the indoor. They want outside. So you pick up what you like. Personally, I love the outdoor. That's my favorite. Not to say that I'm not investing as much in my other classes. It's just the best of both worlds. We live in South California. I mean, we are so privileged, and we need to take advantage of it. We live next to the beach. There's people that don't know they live next to the beach because they never get out. They don't take the time. So it's so uplifting. We can practice on the beach and suddenly dolphins goes by. So we stopped everything. We call it Dolphin Meditation, and we just looking at them and focusing on them. That is our meditation. And you're talking about joy and happiness. I mean, it cannot be any better than this.
They live joy and happiness.
Oh my God! It's just like every time
They're
I see them.
predators, right?
Exactly. But every time I see them, it's like, I'm getting so excited, and I see them a lot. But it's every time is as if it was the first time I saw them. So that benefits. And also, I think it's going to be more mindful outdoor because you can focus on the elements. So you can focus on the sun against your skin. You can focus on the sound of the waves. You can focus on the breeze against your skin. You can focus on the sand. And sometimes I teach walking meditation in every session. You just walk and concentrate on the sand underneath the sole of your feet. So there's so much more. For me, it's just like heaven on earth. This is how I see it.
So how do we get to the place where we see the happy predators, the dolphins, and the sun and the sand, and there's that bliss, but then we're bombarded every day with our phones and media and war going on right now? And
can you imagine? Crazy.
So how do we kind of have those two in our lives and still be able to calm the monkey brain when the media and the news and all of that is just in our faces all the time? And then the social media is amplifying it even more. Well, that's the thing. I think this is why you need yoga and meditation more, because the level of stress is higher. The epidemics and the economy and people losing work. More stress you have in your life, or the world is more stressful because things are not sometimes directly about us, but it's still impacting us. Yeah. More you need to practice, because that is your way to balance your life. What's happening is when we are in such a high alert all the time, our body is breaking down. We're getting sick. We're getting heart attacks. We're getting digestive system problems. We get cancer. I really believe there is a connection, because we are like sponges. We get all that negativity in, and if you don't let it out somewhere and you cannot find the balance and where you're just coming down, you are getting sick. That is absolutely a fact. It's scientifically proven. So you gotta find places to release that negative energy. Okay, well, how can people find you? What's your social stats? How can people channel this sunshine?
Okay, so I have a website. It's called Yoga on the Beach. YogaOnTheBeach.info. Because it's not .com. .info. Because what are you looking for? For information. So every 3 months or so, I'm updating it, because every season I'm having different classes. As I mentioned before, mornings and evenings, I got to change with the sun. So at least every 3 months, you have to go to my website and see what's new, what's going to come up, and join us when it fits your schedule. I also on Facebook, Yoga on the Beach with Efrat, E-F-R-A-T, because who knows how to spell that word. And I'm on Instagram, Yoga on the Beach with Efrat. So there is so many ways to find me. On the social media, I'm definitely right there, and the website. So please check it out.
I couldn't agree with her more. Check it out.
Often.
And sign up for the classes.
Exactly.
Do you do privates too?
I do. I don't love it very much. I do. If I know the people. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with people I don't know.
Okay.
But if I have relationship, and that's will work.
Okay.
So it's there, but it's a very small part of my practice.
Find her, Yoga on the Beach, do our breath work, take time.
Meditate.
meditate on this break, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Good Morning South Bay. Okay, so if you've just stumbled upon us and you're like, what is this? Well, we are a live streaming platform reflecting the South Bay lifestyle, covering cities from El Segundo to San Pedro and all the towns in between. We cover topics including health and wellness, fashion and beauty, art and music, food and entertainment, and with this show, local news and events. And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and our online newsletter to be notified of any news stories and when we go live. In the meantime, come back every Friday at 11 a.m. to stay up to date on all the latest happenings in the South Bay. Speaking of, here is what you and your family can look forward to this weekend in the South Bay. On Saturday, February 26th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., it's the SoCal Etsy Guild Market Torrance, and that's going down at the Del Amo Fashion Center. Items being sold by vendors must fit in one of the following categories: art, handmade, vintage, original design, or artisanal food. Vendors must stay open for entire market hours. Partial day participation is not available. And once again, it's a one-day event taking place at the Del Amo Fashion Center in Torrance.
All right, well, join the craze and pour your very own river charcuterie board. And on Saturday, February 26th at 10:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. at Rockler Woodworking and Hardware, this class will teach you the techniques of preparing the mini slabs, building molds, clamping, epoxy, everything you need to know to be able to build your own board. You will return the following week to unmold, plane, and sand the table to a nice luster, and your final board will be approximately 8 by 12 inches. We will sand and finish your board at a time for you to schedule with the instructor, and tickets are $125 on Eventbrite.
Also on Saturday, February 26th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., it's the Manhattan Beach Cars and Coffee event. That's going down at the Point in El Segundo. It actually happens the last Saturday of every month, 8 to 10 a.m. Now, this car show has been attracting a large number of exotics and classic cars. The show has grown from a car club at the local high school to one of the main car events in the LA area.
Well, grab the family and join in for this Family Nature Club specializing in whales. Yes, this Saturday, February 26th at 9 a.m., you can join the Palos Verdes Peninsula Land Conservancy for the next virtual Family Nature Club as we swim into the topic of whales. You'll learn about our local migrating whales and do a fun whaley fun craft with the kids. After registering, you will receive a confirmation email containing information about joining the meeting. Registration takes place at www.pvplc.org.
Saturday night, February 26th, is theater time, 7 p.m. to about 9 p.m. The Lightning Thief is going to be performed outdoors in the Rosenwald Amphitheater at the Chadwick School, and that's in Palos Verdes Peninsula. So please dress for the weather and consider bringing a cushion and a blanket for your comfort during the show. For parents and other age-eligible guests who are members of that K-12 community, attendance at on-campus activities and at school-sponsored off-site activities requires proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID-19 test taken within the previous 48 hours. To submit your proof of vaccination, click on the link that is in the confirmation email you'll receive after registering for tickets, and you can get those tickets on Eventbrite. Now, if you are not fully vaccinated, they will ask you to present your negative COVID-19 test results before entering the event. Masks will be required to attend, and the best part, the tickets are free.
It's time for Mardi Gras, and we have a vegan Mardi Gras coming up this Saturday, February 26th from noon until 5 p.m. It will be held at the Common Space Brewery and Tasting Room. This vegan Mardi Gras will include delicious vegan food, craft beer, live music, and more. featuring over 30 of the best local vendors bringing food, jewelry, apparel, and sweets and more. Plus, the 2 most festive attendees will be crowned the Mardi Gras royalty. There will be a live band, music provided by NOLA. Select food vendors will also be offering specially themed dishes. Entry is free, all ages are welcome, and you can even bring your friendly dog.
Saturday, February 26th, it's baseball time, 1 p.m. at Hawthorne High School. The Hawthorne JV baseball team has a home non-conference game versus Wiseburn Da Vinci from El Segundo on Saturday, February 26th. Be there, 1 p.m.
All right, so this Sunday, February 27th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., the Surf Therapy in Redondo Beach. Meet us on the beach in front of Perry's Cafe and Beach Rental. We will have a Blue Easy Up with a Surf for Keenan banner. All are welcome, whether it's your first time surfing or part of your daily routine, or maybe you've never surfed at all. We will teach you the basics of surf if it's your first time. Even if you don't surf, we will have coffee and bagels, so come hang out on the beach and meet some new friends.
On Sunday, February 27th, from 3 to 5 p.m., there's live music, the South Bay Acoustica. The location is Uncorked, the wine shop. Listen to Karen and Sean as you savor a sampling of intoxicants from their tasting list.
South Bay Le Tip Torrance is a professional organization of men and women dedicated to the highest standards of competence and service. Their primary purpose is to give and receive qualified business tips and leads. Members will at all times maintain the highest professional integrity. There are several reasons to consider becoming on board and exchange valuable business tips among the group. Members work to provide each other with qualified business leads. This next meeting, again, is Tuesday, March 1st from 7:15 till 8:30 in the morning at the South End Racket and Health Club.
And if you have a local story or event that you would like to tell us about, please do so on our website. Follow the link on the homepage to where you can submit your story, because it's all about community and engagement, and that cannot happen without you. So take care of you, your town, and each other. Thanks for watching.